Hello, welcome to Don't Sweat It, funny HVAC photos and cold truths. This is what we're going to talk about today. This is AZRE podcast. I'm Katie Horgan. Okay, so it is getting hot. Okay, I'm just going to chill right here until you get that AC fixed, homie. How many of you go through that kind of stuff? Oh yeah, here we go again. I'm going to show you. Don't sweat it. Okay. Actually gonna change this. I have to get my intro because I have my intro for the other show and not this one. But it is so I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's already getting hot here. But on here, oh, I don't know if you can see, it's in the 70s and 80s. It's 79 right now. It's pretty nice actually for us anyway. But it's already ramped up almost to 100. So let's talk about what did they do before air conditioning? So I found this article here from Farmer's Almanac. Kind of cool, right? So what did people do before air conditioning? So look at this old picture. Our parents and grandparents had to get creative when it came to keeping it cool. While air conditioning's been around since 1902, I had no idea it was that long. Its technology remained too expensive and bulky for most folks to have in their homes. In fact, only 10% of U.S. homes had air conditioning installed as late as the 1960s. Whoa. So what did people do before they could afford air conditioning or before it was available, especially readily, right? So here's 8 things. They took day trips to nearby mountain towns to enjoy a bit of cool mountain air. So one lucky thing we have here in Phoenix, Arizona is that the Grand Canyon is close. Well, I wouldn't go to the Grand Canyon to get cool, but Flagstaff, we can go to Flagstaff to get cool, So also I'll make this bigger again so you can read that. Okay. Kept windows and doors shut at midday to keep hot air out. And that's funny because my parents are staying with me until the end of April. And so we do that. Like it's nice in the morning and then we shut it up. And it does actually keep it cooler, especially because my house is really old and it's got like concrete brick like on the outside. So it's pretty indestructible. 3, they delayed cooking, baking, and kitchen chores until the cooler evening hours. Yep, makes sense. Opened windows at bedtime to let the cool nighttime air in, although here in Phoenix, it's still 100 degrees at midnight sometimes, so that is not fun. Okay. Blew fans across blocks of ice, took a dip in a swimming hole, ran through sprinklers, or opened fire hydrants. I don't even think they are allowed to do that anymore, are they? Or they ate cool and refreshing treats like ice cream, watermelon, ice cold lemonade, or tea. So tell me, share a story if you on how you keep cool or have kept cool without an air conditioning, because that is kind of crazy, right? So if you think about it, we've gotten some crazy things anyway. So did you know that you could put an air conditioning in your doghouse? I mean, talk about awesome, right? If you were a dog. But then you also have, if you don't have AC, this is a mind over matter, I guess. Just make a picture of an AC and keep that mindset at 68, and that'll work for you. That is definitely not going to work. So I came across this funny thing. So why spend $250 on an AC unit when you can transform your tree house into a DIY cooling oasis with a box fan, some copper tubing, and a cooler? Okay, so here is the funny thing, okay? Here's the DIY on how you can do this. And I don't know if you can use it in your house, but these people did use it for a tree, but it looks like it's in their room, okay? So I guess if I could actually show the, dang it, I keep doing it wrong. Sorry, keep showing it to you. Okay, hang on one sec. Okay, so here's a picture of it. DIY. Oh, sorry. This is a picture of it. The DIY air conditioning, and then this is the website, and it tells you how to do it. So we're just gonna briefly run through this. To me, I would think this is not that safe. And then I was thinking, who in the heck can find an air conditioning unit for $250? But they were talking about the tree house. So it's like basically I was wanting air conditioning for my tree house. So they thought it's very low cost to operate compared to a central AC and provides spot cooling heating only, cooling/heating the areas you want to cool/heat. Heatly. Anyway, this person's like, I can build my own. Says it's eco-friendly. So here's the one. Step one, buy supplies. And then what you need is a box fan, a screwdriver, scissors, utility knife, and the estimated cost there is 0 to 25. And then to buy at Lowe's, all these things. So I won't go through all of this stuff, but it's kind of funny because it's like step 2, build it. But it kind of tells you some of the things there. So you're still using copper wire, oh yeah, I'm in the way there. Okay, still using copper wire and all that. So it's kind of funny. It's just funny to me. But I kind of want to try it to see if it works. Because if you look on here on the right-hand side, you can see the cooler there and all the stuff in there. So it just seems like, I guess if it was only $25 as compared to $250, that'd be cool. But it still would be a pain in the butt. Now look at the specs. It tells it. This is on the bottom of the cooler. So who's going to look at that? But they do have some useful information in there, like do not pump liquids other than H2O. So those of you that think you can put tequila in there and get a nice little sprinkle during the day, don't. Okay. So they made this and then talks about it, and then they gave an update. So if you are so inclined, you can do a DIY air conditioning unit. So there is a guy, Arthur Miller, the guy who wrote Death of a Salesman. He wrote this back in 1998. So before air conditioning, the city in summer floated in a daze that moved otherwise sensible people to repeat endlessly the brainless greeting, hot enough for you? So he says, people on West 110th Street where I lived were a little too bourgeois to sit out on their fire escapes. But around the corner on 111th and farther uptown, mattresses were put out at night as well. Can you imagine? You're sleeping out in the streets? And whole families lay on them, those iron balconies in their underwear. Even though the nights, which I can't even see that, it's too far. Even through the nights, the pall of heat never broke. So if there's anybody watching from back in the day before air conditioning or before everybody had it readily available, let me know. So I got some facts about Arthur Miller for you, just because it's kind of cool. So his first Broadway play was The Man Who Had All the Luck Closes, only after 4 performances in 1944. But was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Death of a Salesman in 1949 at the age of just 33. He appeared before the House Un-American Activities Committee in 1956. So I had to look that up. I didn't know what that was, I didn't remember. So it was created in 1938 to investigate alleged disloyalty and rebel activities on the part of private citizens, public employees, and organizations suspected of having communist ties. So I remember learning about that in school, all the propaganda stuff or whatever. Crazy. And he was married 3 times. I don't know how interesting that is. And maybe it's interesting for those times, like back in the day, And so that's pretty much it. I just have some funny art pictures to show you that are pretty creative. Oh, except for this. What can I do to create a climate where things get done? Turn on the air conditioner. Make a comment or put a little air conditioning or blowing thing in the comments if you've ever worked at a place that didn't have air conditioning. It's terrible. It's hard to get stuff done, isn't it? Okay, here's some cool art stuff. Look at that. Isn't that creative? So I don't know if it looks like he's drinking out of a juice box or he's smoking or something. This one's awesome. I love it. It looks like it says Passage Dubai. So maybe that's in Dubai. And then look at this one. You see the little kitten at the top there? Almost falling down off the air conditioning unit and all the other cats trying to save it. So this week we talked about HVAC units. I had a friend on my podcast on Candor with Katie, which I'll share here. And then I had another one about air conditioning units and stuff a couple days ago. And then today's just a fun one. So the final thoughts are like and subscribe. It'll make Sit Squatch, this fella, very happy. Ooh, he's blurry. And so he likes to say the journey begins with you. So be good to yourself. And I, the Horgan, I love you. And I will see you next week. Thanks for joining. Ooh. See ya. That was wackadoo. Happy Friday.